Air fried salmon fillets, or otherwise known as salmon up north, with some asparagus and some baby broccoli. And I'm also going to use a pineapple teriyaki glaze that is absolutely out of this world and works really great on salmon. We're going to do it all in the Ninja Foodi XL Pro air frying oven, my new favorite device that has taken over my kitchen. I'm John Sanders, also known as Jelly 007. Let's air fry this salmon. Okay, right here is what we're using and pretty much what we're doing, and that is I'm going to use part of this baby broccoli. I've never cooked baby broccoli before, but you can see right there, it looks really good, and I am anxious to try it. And there's some asparagus that I'm going to snap off like I always do in all my videos. I'll show you right quick. I just bend it till it breaks like that, and then obviously it breaks supposedly at the tender edge of the stalk, because some of it is kind of woody or chewy. So that usually works real well. That's what I'll be doing to that. The salmon, I always use skin on, and everything. I've never cooked salmon. I never buy salmon that's not skin on, and this is a skin on fillet. And that the skin kind of helps, it kind of protects it, and you'll see, because I've already done this once. I've done something similar, and the skin will stick to this tray. And when you pull it off, though, the skin stays, and the salmon comes off really well. Again, it kind of helps protect it. The vegetables, these right here, will be on this air frying basket, and I'll have them sprayed with avocado oil lightly, and then of course salt and pepper. This right here is what I'm putting on the salmon. It is absolutely fantastic, and I've used other teriyakis. I've got a video in one where I did it in a Ninja Foodi, where I use a different teriyaki. Nothing wrong with it, but this right here really works well. The pineapple and teriyaki sauce, it goes real well with this, and I'll get off that and let you see it in just a minute. Here, this comes with the Ninja Foodi oven, obviously, and that's what we're using. This guide right here, which is for mains and sides that finish at the same time. Right there, it wants 6 salmon fillets, skin on, and then brushed with a 1/4 cup of teriyaki. Again, we're using the teriyaki pineapple. And then you can choose an option right here. It says choose one. Obviously, I'm going to mix them a little bit. I'm going to use asparagus and the broccoli. It wants 2 pounds or 2 bunches. Well, I never do that, or I haven't been doing that. I'm not going to try and go by how many pounds I use. I'm just going to use what looks good on this rack without crowding it. Then we're going to set it up at 400 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. But I'll also say this, I'll either put this in late, the vegetables, or I'll pull them early, because they got done the last time I did it a little early. So I'll be watching all of that. We're going to be using the thermopen. I haven't decided whether I'm going to try and use my meter or not. It would be simple to put in there and watch, but it's also just as simple to use my thermopen. So I'm going to get this cut up and get this started, and some of this laid out, and I'll be back. All right, here's where we are right now. I've cut up that fillet, and here's all 6 of my fillets. They look just like this. And I have the fillets sitting on the broiler pan, which is then sitting on the sheet pan. And I have sprayed the sheet pan and the broiler pan with the avocado oil, just kind of to help with cleanup. That's the only reason. Like I said, those skins will stick to that broiler tray. You'll see in a minute. I'll probably do something with this, like I said. But right now, I'm about to get these vegetables like I want them, and on this tray, on this air frying basket right here, and get them lined out to where they're not crowded or anything. And then we're going to get this started, and I'll be back. Okay, right there is everything ready to go in. I have brushed the salmon with the Paradise Pineapple Teriyaki. It's made by Kona Coast. My son told me about it, and he loved it, and we do too. Here's the baby broccoli and the asparagus, and you can see where I snapped off the larger ends. And this asparagus is a little larger than normal, so I'm hoping it's going to be tender. But you can see this baby broccoli that I've never cooked before really looks good, and I'm anxious to see how it's going to be. But like I said, this is brushed and ready. So all we have to do right now is this step right here, and it wants to, well, it wants you to preheat, but this thing only takes 90 seconds to preheat. Quite honestly, I don't preheat. On certain recipes I do, but I hardly ever preheat an air fryer, especially if it's going to take 90 seconds. I'm not preheating is what I'm getting at. But it says after preheat, place protein on roast tray nested in sheet pan, which is where we have the salmon, and put it on wire rack on 1. Well, I've got that ready for that. Slide air fry basket with vegetables into rails of 3. So then we've got to go to 400 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. So right now I'm going to set the protein or the salmon on the wire rack in position number 1 and the vegetables in position number 3, which is right here. And again, foregoing the preheat, but I'm going to go to what it wants right here, by the way, which is use the air roast function is what we're supposed to be using. So I'm going to take it to air roast. Whoops. There we are, air roast. It's at 400 degrees. It wants 25 to 30 minutes. So it looks like we are ready. Oh, I got to hit 2 level just to make sure. And it shows you want 1 and 3 on the rack level right there. All I got to do is this. And we are off and running. I'm going to be watching those vegetables real close because they got a little further than I wanted last time. And I'm going to check the salmon with this. A side note to this, the other night I did this. Some of the salmon, I took it too far, all of them, to be honest with you. Or further than I'm going to here, because I'm going to look for around 140 on this salmon. But I want to say something. Some of the salmon the other night was 170. Which most people would think would be gone. It was not. I ate it. And I've never wanted to eat something overdone. It was excellent at 170. So, but we're going to pull this somewhere around 140 on these front pieces. So I'll be checking that with the Thermopen. And I decided not to use my meter. But I'll get off of here. We're going to let that cook a minute and I'll be back. All right, here's what they look like after about 20 minutes, and you can see the baby broccoli and the asparagus that I'm probably fixing to pull out. There is the salmon, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to remove the broccoli and put it in that container and brush that salmon again and get it back under a broiler for a minute. I'll be back. All right, here we go. I'm going to move this. I'm actually going to put on a glove where I can do this without burning my hand. And we're going to, and you can see, well, it fogged my glasses up, but you can see that looks, that's as done as I want it. You can see, that's what I think. So I'm gonna set that right there for now. And then we're going, you know what, let's take a temp. I can find my, where did my Thermopen go? Here it is. Let's take a temp right here. Yeah, we're if I go all the way to the bottom, we can hit 150s, 140 or so on that one. This one, 132. And that's how I got one the other day to 170. They all are a little bit, they're different thicknesses. So, I mean, let's say the back ones are, I saw 137 there. And these small ones are probably, well, that one right there is 148. Yep. So they're probably done. In fact, I'm sure they are. But what I'm going to do, and that's after 20 minutes, we're going to get that right there in here for a minute maybe. I'm going to see what I'm going to do. Because all I'm going to do is brush some of this on here, and I'm going to broil it just a minute. So, and I'm just going to leave the camera running, by the way, as you can see. So I'm going to pull this out just a little bit further. And I'm going to brush it because I want it to kind of char up a little bit. And I ate some other night at 170. There was nothing wrong with 170. Now, I mean, people say 140, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, but you know what? the way my mother served it all my life was probably 170 or better. And there'll be some in here that won't be 170, but I'm going to have some that'll probably be close because I'm fixing to broil it for at least a couple of minutes. I just want to get a little bit of char on that because a lot of this will be eaten tomorrow. As a matter of fact, it'll be eaten like this tomorrow and on salads. That's what we do with salmon. We make salads. We do a lot of things with it, but mainly on a salad. So I got to figure out how to get that at the same time. Let me see if I can. I'm going to go ahead and go with position number 3 instead of the top one, although the top one would probably do better, but I'm not going to. All right, I'm going to stop that. I'm going to take the function to broil. I'm going to leave it on high. I'm going to hit start, and we're going to let it run for a couple of minutes, and hopefully it will do what it's got to do because I'm not going to leave it there long. I'll be back. Okay, so that's about 3 minutes of high broil, and we're going to pull it out. You can see a little bit of steam, and that's not really smoke. That's kind of steam. So I'm going to open it up. Let's take a look at it, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to set this out. I'm going to get it transferred to that plate right there, and I'm going to make some of those YouTube pictures while that kind of rests a minute, but you can see what I'm about to do. So I'm going to get that done. I'll be back. The only thing I regret doing a little bit was showing you how to get this off of here, which I've already broke them off free, but you just go under it with something. It's that simple. You can see the skin stays. I mean, that's what I meant by skin on. The skin stays, you protect the fish. So anyhow, I'm going to get this made up for pictures a little bit better. Now I'm coming back. All right, right there it is. And it's all perfect if you ask me. These right here, I'm not going to try and eat one. I've ate one. They are perfect. They are crispy. They're good. The stalk is fantastic. Even the asparagus that I was worried about being too tough is perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. The fish, and I've tasted this one right here, but we're fixing to break one of these right here off. And I think you'll be able to see. Let's make sure you can. That right there is if you ask me, it's perfect. You can see it's flaky. Well, if it'll focus, you can see it's flaky. It's done all the way through. Maybe I have 150 on some of it or so. These thicker pieces might have got 150, but in fact, I have to be careful stuffing a bunch in my mouth or I can't talk. But that teriyaki pineapple, it's excellent. You should try it, or some teriyaki. I think it works really great with salmon. And you see what it looks like. It's a beautiful dish just to serve, even if we ain't gonna eat it. But I am. I love y'all all. Where's my thumb? Here it is. I love y'all all. Come back to see me. Drop me one of these if you can. Hit that thumbs up. Man, it means a bunch. It really does. I found out it means more than I thought it did. I love y'all all. Come back to see me, and y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.